Hi. I think everything's working this time. Welcome back to Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. But of course, we ain't enjoying no water. We're enjoying energy drink, as you do. But yeah, let's get back to our storytelling. As we do. Let's see. Okay. There's a guy up by Chicago. Guess we can go up that way. We'll go up to Chicago. Gotta dig that hole, you know? Guess we're riding back to St. Louis. That's fine. Alright. I hitchhiked on Route 66. I got my kicks. Now I want to go back to Chicago, so. Yeah, that's fun, but let's whistle a little. That's a good whistling. There's a campfire.
You've seen migrant camps before, and they tend to look like the town dump. This one, though, on a good day, this could pass for a town.
Well, that's good.
Starched white tents stand tall and many, and a stroll through the grounds finds you neither trash nor trouble. You hear some chatter from a large tent on your left. On your right, a tent in the shadow of the trees emanates a soft buzz.
You gotta see that buzz.
You pass through a shroud of flies into a curtained waiting area. The air is pregnant with the stench of rotten meat, but the area is empty, almost clean, except for the black stains that have seeped into the soil. There's only the curtain, which reaches all the way from one end of the tent to the other.
Uh-huh.
It wears a black overcoat and a white porcelain mask with a fat, sharp beak. There's a butcher's knife in its gloved hand.
This is the pest house.
It snaps in a woman's voice and yanks the curtain shut.
Alright. Strange looking tent city you found. Let's camp.
met a lot of people like you on this road.
Okay.
There's something you want from it, isn't there? The desire that scratches and scrapes away at the sides of your body. Does being out here feed that part of you? It's that way for me, living in a state of motion, resting nowhere, returning to no one. I've been a wandering ghost for a while now, and I'll be that way for some time to come. But that's a fate I should have known I was in for.
That's so.
I'm a poet, after all.
Ooh.
Alone, out here. I spend too much time inside my own head. Can you tell me a hopeful story to lighten my mood?
Lightful story. Let's see. The story of the Leatherman. Hopeful story. John Chapman. He seemed hopeful even though his dog passed.
Words are power, friend. So, use them carefully. My first tip, avoid the maudlin.
Alright. No, guess you didn't like that one.
Heaven, we look for it in other people. We all want someone to fill the absence in our lives. I would say, perhaps that's a lost cause. I search for someone out there, some kind of connection, someone to complete me. Silas said, you've become too attached to the idea that someone can complete you. Try letting go. So, this is me, trying to let go.
That's fair.
Have you heard any scary stories in your travels? Tell me one. I want to shiver.
Wounded soldier who stabbed me is a scary story.
Oh, you're good at telling these. It takes effort to make the scare feel real. The past haunts me. Every day I think about how things used to be. There was a time when it felt like Silas and I were inseparable. My poems, his books, we were part of each other's ideas. Now, I don't know how to describe how much I've missed that voice. His voice. Imagine that. A poet at a loss for words. The one thing I
Ridiculous.
thought I could do. Just gone. Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own. Do you know any stories like that?
Yeah, the man who died in St. Louis.
That one was like getting locked out in the cold with nothing but your sorrow. I liked it. I know sadness. These days, the melancholy just settles over me like a heavy bay fog. It makes its residence with me, and I accommodate it.
Alright, fair enough.
I start to think, well, the world isn't made for being happy in, not for someone like me. My old friends have their happiness. Jess and Deborah, Pauline, Silas too, maybe. And good for them. It'd be wrong to begrudge someone their happiness, wouldn't it? No matter how jealous you are. I need an optimistic story right now. Something to put a smile on my face. Can you think of any like that?
Optimistic story, okay. How about the pigeon keeper?
That reminded me of the kind of thing I used to write in school, just to be shocking.
Alright.
The space you give to love is the same space you open yourself up for potential harm. That's an old truism, and I'd read all about that kind of thing from an early age. So, it's not like it should have been a surprise to me. Still, I wasn't prepared for how much it all going sideways hurt me as much as it did. The way I felt about Silas wasn't like anything I could remember feeling before. The whiplash from that is why I'm out here by myself now. Alone, out here. I spend too much time inside my own head. Can you tell me a hopeful story to lighten my mood?
Okay, hopeful story, sure. The seagulls would probably count. Dildo, dildo. It's all about the seagulls.
I like that one. Makes me feel the way Silas used to in the old days. The future. Well, what do you want from this life you've been given? Do you think there's a chance you'll get it? It's good to march forward, thinking you can reach the goal you set out for yourself.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Of course, we both know it doesn't always work out. Maybe it never works out. Not many people I know seem to have gotten what they want. Except for Pauline, maybe. Personally, I don't think what I wanted from this world was so unreasonable. I miss the old group. I really do. I still have that image in my head. Pauline's house, the poets, Jess, me. But on top of them all, there's Silas. In my memory, he looms, he haunts. You ever meet someone so far above everyone else? It's like they were from a different plane altogether.
Maybe.
That was him. A divine presence among normal human beings. Silas was part of the group, but at the same time, he wasn't. He was better than any of us. Wiser, gentler, stronger. We all held him in respect. We were in awe of his power as a writer, in reverence for the beauty of his soul. I still love him. Look, I'm headed out this way. If you find yourself out there, maybe we'll meet again.
All right. Cassidy's up there. I guess I'll just follow him. But first I'm going to check out Chicago. Might be something over here we want to see.
It's the midday, and yet this whole neighborhood is eerily quiet. Everyone seems to have retreated into their homes as if warned of something. You soon realize what? The reciprocating sound of a Thompson gun, emptying its drum. You get behind a car, putting the engine block between you and the sound. But it's muffled, coming from inside a building. You're in no danger, you think. So you allow yourself a peek above the black hull of the car. And running down the cobblestone street, a man in fine, blood-spattered clothes. He has his hands out, mouth open, screaming something. But you don't catch what he says. He's drowned out by gunfire, and his body slumps to the ground.
Run away.
You find an alley and follow it, away from this side of Chicago. Only one more shot rings out in the distant air, as if to confirm what you had seen.
Oof.
Stacks of suitcases grind the parked Model A deeper into the dirt. An extended family inside defies the carrying capacity of the vehicle. The driver leans out the window. Want this? He swings a violin around by its neck. 10 bits. We need it for gas. You hear a muffled pounding from somewhere within the car.
No thanks.
The back door breaks open, and a girl crawls over the laps of dusty bodies.
Don't you dare! That belongs to Louise Ames!
She shouts at you.
Louise Ames!
She's dragged back into the writhing nest of limbs, and the door slams shut. On your way, the driver tells you. You go. She's getting married, the soldier tells you.
Okay. Getting married. That's
The
good.
two of you observe the church from the dusty road, straining to hear the faint joy of the ceremony transpiring within. I fought for 10 years to come home because she said she'd be here, waiting for me. And look, can you believe it?
Yeah, I kind of can.
So what am I supposed to do? What does she expect? That I should throw myself from the nearest cliff? Walk into the ocean? He snorts, sets off down the road.
Yeah, let's follow him.
He seems surprised to see you a few steps behind. No, he says. Where I'm going, you can't come. It's only then that you notice. There's something very wrong with his eyes.
Alright. Kindly old man, sharing shade of the bridge, tells you a few rambling stories, some true seeming, some conspicuously less so. All true, he assures you. There's history in this place going all back to Indian times. Strange stuff happens around here. Can't all be true. Fishermen and the fish calling seagulls. This one you know. It's the story of the seagulls and the fishermen, wild and stranger than you remember. See then, somebody pulling your leg. It's all true. Alright, story grew in the telling.
There's something wrong about this lonely farmhouse.
Yeah, huh?
The cows have unusual rain over the porch, and the open door shows a cow lying in the empty parlor. The flower boxes are still well tended, though. There's outgoing mail in the box.
That's strange.
The moment you step inside the fence, an old woman screams.
Hey! Hey! This is private property!
You quickly realize that the sound is coming from under the porch. Indeed, you can see her hollering at you through the slats of the steps.
What?
You can see a parlor set up in the basin under the porch. A flowery armchair, a rug, and a little lacquered table.
This is an inhabited home!
The old lady barks.
The cows live upstairs and I live down here.
Above, a cow thumps its hoof. She twitches and startles.
That's for sure a way to live, lady.
That's right.
She shouts.
I'm a grown woman. I can live any way I please.
She shuffles to her chest of drawers and digs out a packet of rock candy in wax paper, like a grandmother saves for her grandchildren. She hurls it in your face.
Thank you for visiting. Now get out.
All right, I'm out of here. Hey, Cassie.
Where are you headed now? I'm thinking about getting out to the coast again. I want to get to Frisco and gaze upon the Pacific Ocean like in days past.
It's fair.
Contemplation of water is an ancient healing practice, you know? The vastness of the sea makes the personal wounds we suffer seem small in comparison. That's the theory, anyway. Silas told me that once. Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own. Do you know any stories like that?
That's the story of a gunshot man left to die. Yeah, the elegant woman in a small town near Portland, Maine.
The tragedy in that story, it's real. Have you ever tried writing poetry? You have a lot to be sad about? Come and join me. Be a writer.
Yeah. That's the solution.
Or, even better, be a poet. It takes a special kind of fool to become a poet. Writing poetry won't make your sadness go away, nor will your problems be solved. But at least you'll be able to look back and know how you felt, because there's a record of it. I need an optimistic story right now. Something to put a smile on my face. Can you think of any like that?
Yeah, how about the Blessed Lighthouse Sanctuary?
I like that one. Makes me feel the way Silas used to in the old days. Looking back at the past, well, it's just like reading a long list of times I was a fool. Here's an example. Pauline used to write too. Silas and I agreed she wasn't particularly talented. She tried too hard to sound like the writers we adored back then. The attempts were so stodgy sounding I called them the Pauline Epistles, which made Silas laugh and laugh. Back then I thought I was so high up, so secure. But in the end, he still chose her over me. Do you know any stories that will make me laugh? A tall order, I know.
It's the kittens. The girl with the kittens. That's pretty funny.
That's a good one. I know I don't laugh the way I used to, but I appreciate it. Joy. You don't really enjoy something unless you experience the lack of it too. Hunger makes the food taste better, and so on. It's an old idea. This is what I tell myself about sorrow, too. That the joys couldn't be possible if it weren't for the lows as well. I don't know if I believe it all the way, though. In the end, a deep, powerful, consuming hunger doesn't make food taste good. It just turns eating into a compulsion.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own. Do you know any stories like that?
Yeah, let's talk about the soldier with the married wife.
That one was like getting locked out in the cold with nothing but your sorrow. I liked it. There's some more travel I could do. I think a lot about going back to Frisco where it all began. I could find Silas and Pauline and ask them if this is what they really wanted, pretending to be normal together. The road would take me right there if I let it. But no, I don't trust myself to see them and act like a decent human being.
Well, it's good you know that about yourself.
Maybe with more distance. Right now, it's still so much to bear. Alone, out here, I spend too much time inside my own head. Can you tell me a hopeful story to lighten my mood?
Do I know any more hopeful stories? I don't even know. Strange stones, no? I'll pick the woman praying. Yeah, that's helpful. They're escaping something.
That's a good one.
Now it worked.
We do reach up like that towards hope.
Yeah.
Trust. Well, people confuse states of mind with times gone by. You can talk of rebuilding trust, but it's never quite the same once broken. Certainly, I'll never go back to those old idyllic days. I used to have this belief in our immortality through our art, our words, our deeds. I thought there was power in that. Silly of me, certainly. Go ahead and tell me. I'm ridiculous.
Nah, I won't.
I suppose after a while I'll start to realize how little I can change and accept myself as an uprooted poet howling unheard into the winds, seething with anger and pain. Exiled to a little island of suffering surrounded by storm clouds. Really just a sad little bum that nobody cared about. That sounds about right. I've gone on long enough. Next, I'm traveling out this way. Keep an eye out for me if you find yourself over there.
Alright, we gotta go back down to Chicago again. Well, we'll go back that way. Got two good hands on make holes. Down the trees, flatten his front yard. His porch too. Sweaty sons are chopping into movable pieces. Throw the logs in the old man's cart. At least I can sell for firewood. Doesn't look like there's too much in the Upper Peninsula. Just like reality. Heyo! Let's go back to Chicago. See if we can't finish off Cassidy's story. There's a lot of campfires up the east. We'll probably go back there, because what I'm seeing about this game, I think the goal is to finish chapter 3 of every single other traveler. So if we're working towards that, we're doing all right.
Looks like I'm still me and you're still you.
Yeah, I guess that's probably true.
A pity, isn't it? To be stuck with ourselves like this. All this wandering, and I couldn't escape the one thing I wanted to be away from more than anything else. I suppose that in the end, we all have to settle down inside ourselves. But I don't want to be the way I am now. If I could, I'd live inside the past. Inside the time Silas and I had together.
I gotta move on, man.
Back on the road together, forever. Do you know any stories that will make me laugh? A tall order, I know.
I don't know if maybe it's gonna make you laugh, man. What about a slow-moving cart? Maybe that's funny.
Hey, you don't need to try and cheer me up like that.
Oh, okay.
Did Silas ever imagine a future with me? What did a genius like Silas see in me in the first place? He never said anything directly about my work. Other people came to him for writing advice, and he would suggest changes in diction or grammar or tense, and they'd go away happy and leave him alone. But Silas and I usually just talked about the weather, or people we knew, or how we'd get to the next city over. What he taught me was hidden under the surface, like a cone. Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own. Do you know any stories like that?
Sad story. There you go. Man who traveled 600 miles for a single job.
The tragedy in that story, it's real. Have you ever tried writing poetry? My love, did I overwhelm him? Was it too much for his delicate soul to be caught up in the storm of my love, my desire for him? To have him, own him, make him a part of myself. I dearly wish he felt the same way about me, but I'm not sure that he ever did. It may have been that he just enjoyed the flattery of my worship. And, you know, I was far from the only one who thought of him that way. I need an optimistic story right now. Something to put a smile on my face. Can you think of any like that?
Optimistic. Okay. The bridge builder's teaching me how to find Thunderbirds.
Well, I could find that kind of movie theater story at any stop along the road. Freedom. Am I really free now? I don't know what I'll do next, but I'm starting to understand that it has to be something different. I've been on the road for a while now, but this whole time, I've been as trapped as I've always been. My mind, just going in circles, repeating the same old conversations, revisiting the same old places. I catch a glimpse of real freedom now and then. I just need to find the best way to pursue it. Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own. Do you know any stories like that?
Sadness. Okay. Last bottle of Armagnac.
I don't think I'm in the intended audience for that joke. Silas could see I was trapped. I was a shy kid. Silas helped me realize there was something more than just being frightened of things, of people. Traveling with him unlocked a new world. I'd never felt so free before. The way I was slipping in and out of different situations, others' lives. In the normal, day-to-day, you think you're doing fine, but you're really imprisoned.
I guess so.
To break free from that is a holy thing, a beatific thing. Alone, out here, I spend too much time inside my own head. Can you tell me a hopeful story to lighten my mood?
Hopeful story. Yeah, two brothers who wanted to seek each other for 50 years.
That's a good one. We do reach up like that, towards hope. Who's my family now? I tried to get on with a few other people. Writers and poets and artists. Types that are supposed to have certain things in common.
Yeah.
But I was never accepted into artistic communities. I was too unwilling to put up with all of the bullshit. It went both ways. I tend to annoy other writers for some reason. So I only ever had that one little group.
So it goes.
Them and, of course, all the hobos and bums of the world. The sun will be rising soon. I've got to pack my camp and get ready to go. Up at dawn every day, thinking about how to get to the next town, how to eat, where to rest. It's like the trip I took with Silas, but I'm on my own this time. If your trip takes you out this way, we might meet again.
Alright. He's over in Iowa. Okay, how am I gonna meet that guy in Ohio? Ohio. Detroit.
There's a truck parked here. The driver mistakes your look for curiosity. You want to see something interesting? He asks, pointing to the trunk. He opens it. There's hundreds of metal tubes with little numbered screw-on caps sorted in wooden racks. We've been
What
surveying,
is it?
he said. It's my job to study soil health. The trunk has a map taped to it, marked with numbered dots. I can show you the one from your hometown if you see it here.
Not on the map, my friend.
It's an official-looking map, but the state borders and rivers are wrong. Half your county is missing. The surveyor offers you a coin for directions to your hometown, but his notes are funhouse mirror English writing. Fascinating, he murmurs. We learn so much from you folks.
Yeah, I guess so.
Twister's touched down in a cornfield, fence posts flying in its wake. A huge black stallion charges toward the tornado. On its back, the cowboy whips his lasso through the churning air, nearly matching the Twister's speed. His wild laughter carries on the wind.
Yeah, wrangle that sucker.
God damn it, Bill!
Another man hollers, clapping his hands to his hat to keep it from flying off.
Quit being a damn fool!
The man on the horse turns toward him and flashes a beatific grin before digging his heels harder into the horse's flanks. You follow the man in his hat into a root cellar.
Bill's damn good with horses, but he's only happy when he's trying to tame something bigger than himself. What does he think he's gonna do? Ride it?
When the storm clears, Bill and his horse have vanished.
Oh, goodness.
The man lowers his paper as you come near. His weather-beaten face is drawn. They say it's spreading. The dust is strangling the land. Half my cattle suffocated in the last storm. We cut open the carcasses to salvage the meat. They were filled with mud.
Oof.
He licks his cracked lips. They stay dry. His land is dying. If the harvest fails again, people will too. You look past him, over his dust-choked fields. You can't imagine anything growing here.
I wish him luck.
There's as much luck to be had around here as there is rain. He glances at the empty sky, then fixes his eyes on you. Nah, harvest will fail. The land will die, and all this will turn to desert. You walk on, trying to ignore the feel of sand in your shoes.
We are in Detroit. Let's see. New unions.
The
Ooh.
rain is coming down so hard, it's a wonder the sidewalk hasn't started to crack. You manage to find a narrow patch under a ledge where you can stay dry. A squat man, bundled up in a black fur coat and matching hat, approaches. The thick rain flattens and mats his fur. He squints up at you.
You're in my spot.
He crows.
No thanks.
He leans in. You catch a flash of wrinkled red skin and sharp yellow teeth.
I've been here a long time. You best show me respect.
No thanks.
The man gives you a long look, then turns and keeps walking. A minute later, the ledge collapses. Falling brickwork catches you hard on the shoulder. You cover up to protect your head from more debris and get hit by a crashing wave of water from above. You stand there, dripping and dazed. The rain abruptly stops.
Dang, I got cursed. Okay, I want to get me a sandwich.
The baby buffalo lies tangled by a
Oh,
fence,
uh-oh.
wire biting into its flesh. Please, it says, I must reach the sanctuary before they find me. The light here has a thin quality. Colors are oddly muted. There's a taste of something old in the air.
Now, who's chasing you, friend?
They were hunters of my kind. I am the last born. Every year it repeats. I must run. They must chase. It is the cycle that lets my people survive. You hear hoofbeats. A ways back down the road, a cloud of dust rises. The buffalo struggles. Please, help me.
Well, I'm always one to help a talking animal.
The wire cuts into your hands, but you untangle the animal. The buffalo charges off as soon as it's free. Come on. You glance behind. A trio of riders emerges at the head of the dust cloud. You run alongside the buffalo. Not far. It grunts. Just ahead. You see the boundary, a line of rocks that mark the border, but the hoofbeats sound close. The ground dips, and the beast stumbles and falls. I'll be on you any second.
To carry him across the threshold.
You snatch up the beast and run for the boundary line. All you can hear is the pounding hooves and the whooping of the riders. They're on you just before you reach the line. You hurl the buff forward as you fall. The buffalo crosses the line and turns with a defiant bellow. A primal sound that far outstrips its size. It drags its feet through the dirt, kicking up a cloud of dust.
Nice.
When it settles, the four are nowhere to be seen. You hear the distant clamor of a herd in motion.
Excellent. Last born buffalo.
Over a shared, crusty loaf of bread, the farmer notices you looking at a prominent, tattered scarecrow in the field. Oh, you like old Barney? He asks.
Yeah, I love him.
Does a damn good job scaring the vermin. Shame about the real fella. He was a funny one. Old Barney hiding out in our stables and lofts, just passing along. We liked him. Well, all except the sheriff. Barney never harmed nothing. I sometimes shared bread with him, just like you here.
What happened to Barney?
When he disappeared, leaving just the clothes we gave him, I figured I'd put him to use. Never got to know his proper name neither.
Across the field, the wind in the corn whispers. Or is it the scarecrow?
Why, hello there. Look like that's a heavy bag you're carrying. Let me get that for you. I insist.
All right.
You see this uniform? It means you can trust me to make sure this is the most comfortable journey you've ever had in your life. Who am I? Well, I'm no George, I'll tell you that. But that's not important. This trip is about you, friend.
I guess so.
Anyway, I'm in the mood for a good happy story. You got me?
Let's see. funky story, huh? What's a pigeon keeper?
So, does that one scare you? Not sure about me. Love, I try my hardest to put all my heart into my service. But truth be told, I've never seen anything more touching on a Pullman train than a maid who knows how to treat a little baby just right. Have any optimistic tales? I'd like to hear one of those.
Optimistic. Yeah, fish calling seagulls.
A positive attitude. That's what I like to hear. The future? We're making it. There's never been anyone like us Pullman porters. It's why we have so much pride.
I guess so.
We're setting standards for future folks, and we know just how damn high those standards are. Tell me something that'll make me laugh. I could use a chuckle.
Okay, how about the basket of kittens?
Oh, that's a good one. Very good. Joy. A good porter always finds his own happiness in the joy he brings to passengers through good work.
Yeah, sure.
You know what we call this job? Miles of smiles, friend. Miles of smiles. Have any optimistic tales? I'd like to hear one of those.
Yeah, I've got an optimistic tale. Whipper will-o-wisp.
Not sure my brothers will find that one particularly scary. Yeah, I got a few miles on it, but I don't think I'll be hearing that phantom train anytime soon. Doesn't mean I don't make sure to always listen, just in case. Anyway, you must have some funny stories to tell. Share one.
Funny story, huh?
So, does that one scare you? Not sure about me. Worrying about luck? Well, a porter is as reliable as any piece of machinery that makes sure this train runs on schedule. So there's no need to worry about something like luck.
Fair enough.
Another night over. I surely did enjoy all those stories, though. Maybe next time I'll let down my hair a bit. What do you say? You must excuse me, friend. What kind of porter am I saying this trip is all about you, only to start talking about my own damn self? But enough of my indulgences. I hope I see you again.
Okay, I'm gonna go to story. The buckets of poison. I don't need to put that one on there. Escape on the farm to Indianapolis. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Custom for above the crops, save the world. All bad getting worse. Takes a different tack. If someone likes a good story, try this one on for size. Soldier who journeyed 20 years for love. Sounds like the soldier who came home to find his girl get married with some parts changed, other parts added. Yeah. Story grew in the telling.
Can you find her?
His voice is soft, cooing. He's lowered himself down so that his head is level with the two blonde-topped boys next to him.
Can you find Grandma?
They're pulling ears of corn off stalks with uncommon gentleness.
I'll just watch him.
There she is.
He points to a specific cob. It's enormous, but otherwise unexceptional.
We gave her back to the corn, and now the corn has given her back to us.
One of the boys, awed, reaches out with a reverent hand to touch the cob.
This one's not for eating.
The man continues.
No, this one we keep. Come on, boys. We better get home before dinner time. Harvest starts tomorrow.
He turns to lead his children back towards where you're standing.
I'll hide.
He seems beatifically distracted as he gingerly carries the pristine ear of corn in one hand, never noticing you. His children tail after him. One of them, his blonde mop of hair mirroring the bright yellow maize, seems to glance at you, but not really understand what he sees.
Oh, did it crash again? Let's see.
And there it is, subtle but perceptible. A patch of red spots on his face, fuzzy and fungal, like the omnipresent rust that you've seen on leaves here and there in every cornfield. Except this one, of course.
Corn farmer and his children.
Deep in the fields, you come across a group of young men clearing weeds and sod from a roadside plot. Pitchforks flying, weeds dying. You almost don't notice that the dark lump beside them is a dozing boy, lying smack dab in the middle of their work. There's an odd frenzy to the way these boys are ripping the sod apart. When they notice you approaching, they jog over and stand silently between you and their sleeping comrade.
What's going on, friends?
The youths share nervous looks. The oldest steps forward.
Get going.
He blurts, leveling a pitchfork at your gut. His hands are shaking. He seems serious.
Okay.
You hurry off, but the boys don't check to see if you've really left. From the top of the next rise, you watch them lift the motionless boy and carry him farther back into the field. It's only when they move him that you realize his wrists and ankles have been bound.
Alright, let's see. Still leaving the train.
It's a funny thing, someone looking right through you. But don't lie to me, friend. I know you want to know the truth, what it really means to be a porter.
Yeah, hook me up.
Well, I can tell you it's more than making white folks happy. That's just how it's supposed to look. But you go on so long being how you're supposed to, you're not quite sure how to go back to what you are. Though I suppose I can give it a try. You got any stories with a bit of excitement to them?
Excitement, okay. Yeah, shootout.
Didn't I hear that story on the radio? You told it better, though. Authority. You know why they stopped calling us all George? Some white folks named George got angry. formed a group, and complained about it. If we didn't even have the power to decide our own names, what did we have? We needed Mr. Randolph and the Brotherhood.
Fair.
Have any optimistic tales? I'd like to hear one of those.
It's optimistic, I wonder. Alright, I'm gonna go John Chapman in his orchard.
That one will probably ruin the mood if I share it in our quarters.
Alright.
I've heard some porters say that even up in heaven, we gonna be the ones making the beds, shining the shoes, and cleaning the corners. I believe it. You got any stories with a bit of excitement to them?
The killers on the streets. That's exciting.
Might not be telling that one to the boys, actually.
Alright.
Sadness. That's one thing we porters can't let show. And believe me, it's hard. You get about 3-4 hours of sleep on average, and that comes out of your pay. Miles of smiles ain't much more than pretty words.
Oof.
It's hard to keep on smiling when you can barely keep your eyes open. Anyway, I'm in the mood for a good happy story. You got me?
Let's see, happy story. Yeah, you can talk about the Lighthouse Sanctuary.
Just like I told you, friend, miles of smiles. The past. We porters have to leave the way we used to think behind. Before, we were all just worrying about how to make it through the next day, the next 10,000 miles. But together, we gotta put what's behind us, and keep it there. Now that we've got the Brotherhood, we porters have a bigger future to think about. Have any
Nice.
optimistic tales? I'd like to hear one of those.
What's optimistic, I wonder? Brothers who seek themselves for 50 years. That's optimistic. Yeah.
Positive attitude. That's what I like to hear. Family. Porters spend so much time not seeing our own families. We gotta make a new one on the rails. There's a reason why we're the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters. It's because we are brothers. Another night over. I've got to get going. My journey takes me down the rails this way. But it was good talking to you. And how'd you like that, Sharon? Our dark silhouette's a little easier to make out. Sooner or later, the whole world's got to know what we really are and what's it really like. That's the only way we're really gonna matter to anyone besides ourselves. And now that you know the bad, doesn't the good sound that much better? Sharing goes both ways, though. Is your truth a little more complicated, too?
And there's a bunch of people over there in Maryland I haven't seen yet. I haven't seen it in a while, anyway. Alright, well, let's go down and we'll talk to Franklin again, I guess. I'm coming the wrong way. We gotta go south. Oh, that's 110% true. From a nephew, and he haven't known someone who knows well. Okay. Creature with black fur in Detroit demand respect from travelers. Yeah.
Some people like to think of porters as some special kind of black folks. I suppose that's true. I know I don't always correct them. But we ain't special. Not really. No matter where I go in this country, I'm a black man before anything else.
I guess so.
That was true before I put on this uniform, and it's gonna be true long after I'm buried. Tell me something that'll make me laugh. I could use a chuckle.
Last bottle of Armagnac.
Oh, that's a good one. Very good. Traps? Well, I'm about as free as a black man can get. But there's still so much that's got me trapped. My training, my boss, my money, my face, my smile. You seem like you've seen a few spooky things in your time. Want to share any?
Oh, yeah. Well, spooky things, I got plenty. Fortune teller or the curse?
Whoa, you're giving me some good material. My brothers will love that one. Luck? Oh, I'm lucky. Real lucky. I feel guilty complaining like I do. With this job, I'm a hell of a lot better off than plenty of other black folks I know. I think about that, my relative fortunes, and it takes some of the sting off. Anyway, I'm in the mood for a good happy story. You got any?
Might be about out of happy stories, to be fair. Bridge Builder's happy story.
That's a tall one. Don't pull my leg, okay?
Oh, I like to pull your leg.
When do I feel free? Well, it's always a party when the train rolls through Harlem. There's a real movement happening. So much art and thinking and expressing.
Sounds good. Sometimes it loves to lose my stuff here. Let's see. Oh, buddy. Oh, friendo. Come on. Oh, no. I love Harlem too, you know? Let's see what we can do here. Oh, it hates me. I wonder when the last time it saved was. There we go.
Money and trains only gives a sort of body freedom. Mind freedom is something else.
Yeah, makes sense.
You got any stories with a bit of excitement to them?
Alright, there we go. Excitement. Let's see what we got. Monster in the Maelstrom. That's excitement, right? A massive thunderstorm. That's exciting.
Whew, that's a wild one, all right. Home is changing. Black folks used to be all down in the country, but that was no home. Now we're all moving around, mostly up north. Wonder if that's gonna be any better. Maybe moving is all that you can hope for when you don't have a place to go. Have any optimistic tales? I'd like to hear one of those.
Maybe. Let's see. "20 years for love, my friend."
Might not be telling that one to the boys, actually. Travel is changing the world, friend. When we drop off a new jazz album someplace folks ain't never heard it before, we're dropping off a bit of the new culture. We help it spread.
Heck yeah.
Now, we ain't writing those damn songs, but I think that's worthy of some credit.
Yeah, I'll give you a little credit for that.
Here's the sun. I've got to get going, friend. But this conversation has me so excited. I'd love to continue it. I'd love to tell you more about what I and men like me can be in this world. I'm headed this way next. Will you look for me if you find yourself there?
Yeah, well.
I'm gonna cast my stones o'er the waters of this land, and by and by I'll see them far and long. 'Cause when the night come down for to take me hand in hand, this will be my tale, my vagrant song. This will
Goes to
be
Chattanooga.
my
I don't want to go to Chattanooga. I want to go east.
my vagrant song.
See how my stories change. Whoa. Thunderbird people who fly when they fall from heights. Shocked to soar, the bridge builders' bits changed. Doesn't it really happen? That's all made up. Since to be for sure, the stuff they print these days. Thunderbird people who fly when they fall from heights. Yeah. Look at those multiple campfires over there. Going our way. Richmond. Man, the super hour overnight, it's barely crawling along. Around the corner of the building, see faraway lone paradise struggling way altitude 200. It's gonna be way here a while longer. Size some other line beside you. Seems like it. Topic. After a while, topic drifts to the same place, telling you about the cloud tinge with the color no humans seen before. You recognize the story about life in the sky, but way more outrageous in your version. Oh, that's exciting, says Diplomatic. I mean, sure, it sounds realer than what I heard, but I think Toby likes mine best. Yeah, that's fair.
The man is the color of mill dust. His smile creases his face like folds in dough. He gestures you inside the dilapidated structure and shouts over the sound of driving wheels.
You're welcome to sleep here. You don't want to rest by the river. Not in the evening. Insects.
Makes sense.
Man shoves
Thank
the
you,
broken
friend.
door closed behind you. The mill is warm, and the air is heavy with the powder kicked up by your entrance. You realize how easy it would be to drift off on this pile of sacks to the loud but constant sound of the grinding wheels. Consciousness is elusive. Your limbs throb with a dull fatigue, and your eyes are sticky with dust. The man suddenly grips your legs and drags you toward the millstone.
You do not love my daughter. You will not have her. I will not let you hurt her.
His voice is pained, not angry.
Uh-huh.
Your
I'll fight
hand
him.
catches a flour sack printed with brightly colored flowers. A puff of flour makes you sneeze, and you wake. The mill is quiet, its works long disconnected. In your hand is the faded remnant of what might once have been a bag, or a piece of a dress.
Aye, creepy mill.
Of course, times was different then. Not long after you walked into the small, cramped saloon, you found yourself caught by this man. A portly old grifter sat upon an armchair, seemingly placed there just for him.
Yeah, let's hear
He
it.
takes a deep drag from his cigar. Used to have a trunk full of pawn shop violins. He smiles conspiratorially at you. No doubt, this is his default smile. No harm in explaining how it works now, is there? People today don't go for it. Times are too tough.
How'd your con work, man?
You walk into a diner and eat breakfast. Breakfast's the important part. He chuckles for emphasis. And then you get the bill and act surprised when you can't find your wallet. So you put the violin down as collateral while you go back to your car and get it. And that's where the shill comes in. His eyes lean away, as though recalling a face. Something distracts him from his story.
And then what happens then, friend?
Never mind. I think everybody knows how this goes now. Point is, you sell a $2 violin to someone who thinks it's a $50 violin. burning end of his cigar has gone dark. He rolls it around on a finger. Wistful.
Well, what about the shill?
He was one of the best. Could look in your eyes and make you believe anything. His eyes avoid yours. He takes a drink out of his glass. For the first time that you've seen. I couldn't keep working without him.
Well, what happened to him?
He laughs hollowly. Isn't it obvious? I believed him. By God, I believed him.
Little Ben. All right.
Sorry, friend, but I gotta ask you not to get no closer unless I can see your hands at all times.
That's fair.
Look too clean to be one of us. But you don't look like the company sent you neither. All right, come and share my fire spell. Don't linger. These hills is full of ears. Don't think just 'cause you can't see no one that you're safe. I'll give you cornbread. Don't be so sure of me neither. I need a laugh. Know any good jokes?
Good jokes, maybe. Let's see. Last bottle of Armagnac seems to be a joke, so we'll tell that.
You got some wit, stranger. Traps. Yeah. I tried to help you this out. Now more like than not, I'm gonna be running forever. Keep thinking, I should get mad about it. Maybe there's only so mad a man can be for so long. Sometimes, fire follows the line all the way up into the hole and whoosh, snuffs out. And there's the men with their eyes screwed shut, fingers in their ears, not knowing how to feel the silence. Got any funny stories? Must have a couple.
Yeah, the basket of kittens is my favorite funny story. You can hear that one.
You are a pretty funny one, you know that? Joy, huh? You ever hear music in a cold town? Night falls on a Sunday, you hear church singing. Listen for a while, and the cry? Sure enough, it's a cry. Colored folks, harmonicas coming up from one end of it, joining in. Sound of strings from Italy. That type of song has no country. It's the sound of the workers' choir.
Hell yeah.
See anything exciting out there on the road? Mostly I just seen dogs.
Something exciting, okay. Anything's exciting. Killers on the streets, that's exciting.
Come on, stranger. Tell me something true.
Oh, it's true.
Sure, I know sadness. Sometimes I get to thinking that just because you're right doesn't mean you ever get your rights. Times like that, I feel like all them cold flecks are just settling in me. Like I'm gonna become part of the mountain's guts, one way or another. Anyway, I need something to laugh about. Got any funny ones?
Well, unfortunately, I've mostly told you all my funny ones, but we'll see what I can do. Slow-moving cart, is that funny? Could be.
Well, just seems like wishful thinking to me. Dreaming about the future made me a wanted man. But now I'll be glad just to get over the county line at dawn. Can you tell me something sad? Sometime you just want a story that goes with how the world already is.
American soldier who traveled 20 years for love.
Damn, that one hurts. But it's a good hurt, 'cause the sorrow's one thing we all share. Travel? Well, next time you take a train, take a peek on up at its beating heart. It's black breath. That's just what a mining man looks like inside him. Coal dust, smoke, and fire. Morning. I gotta get going. Headed up that way. Won't be specific. For my safety and yours. You wanna find me? Then do it. Talk again about these things.
Sounds good.
Coal ain't got no country. No worker neither. Worker ain't Virginian, Christian, white, colored, Irish, Polish, nothing. Worker is a worker. We all gotta work.
Yep, it's true.
If you're one of them, if you think I sound red, you best come out and say so. Get it over with.
Okay, I'm gonna do one more, I think. Okay. Yeah, watch the story. Travel moves to see the sail. So this one, yeah, well, I think I like mine more. Slow go cart. It's now travelers who move at the speed of snail. Sounds good. It's like two dudes up here. Miss Washington.
A rusted sign hangs on a run-down wooden fence. Trespassers will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Full extent of the law. Now there's a curious name for buckshot. Apple trees. Planted in neat rows as far back as the eye can see. Though the fruit on the closest trees doesn't look so fresh. Not worth getting shot over a bad apple. Your stomach rumbles. Maybe there's some other food down the road. Wild food. Food nobody signed some paperwork to call their own.
Yeah, come on, man. Alright, Washington, D.C., baby. These shining buildings in the sunlight. Yeah. Oh, Reuben. Hell yeah. Let's earn some money. Doing a lot of holes in the park. Chevron dude picked by the water fountain. We'll keep quiet too. Alright.
The mailman's uniform is dated and worn. He sits on the edge of the road, head in hands. He looks up as you approach. Can you help? Car clipped me. I think my legs... Well, I'd appreciate it if you could deliver this for me. He holds out a brown envelope.
Yeah, I'll help out.
The letter's addressed to a James Gibson Sr., 120 J Street. But the city stymies you. The blocks run straight from I to K. You stop a man for directions, but he shakes his head and laughs. Someone's playing a joke on you. There's no J Street.
I'm gonna find that J Street.
Over here.
A woman in a brown coat overheard your question. She steers you down an alley. Someone's chalked a big orange J on one wall.
I thought Clovis was late. Go left up ahead. Old Man Gibson's the third on the right.
As you round the corner, the world changes. J Street is a place out of time. Like the city forgot an entire street a century ago and carried on around it, oblivious. Even the noise and bustle of D.C. can't penetrate this little pocket. The man who answers is ancient and stooped. He peers at the letter.
I think it's from my son. I don't see so well anymore. Will you read it to me?
You tear the letter open. It isn't good news.
I'm not gonna lie to this man.
He fights it, but his face crumbles. Tears roll down his cheeks.
It's better to know.
I've been waiting a long time for this. His shaking hand takes the letter. Thank you for telling me.
You're welcome. Strange Street lost to time. Well, gonna start here. Next time, we're in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And we'll look for more stories next time. There's 2 campfires up ahead. That'll be fun. And we'll keep working. Keep searching for the place where the water tastes like wine. Later.